Welcome back to my Deus Ex Human Revolution Ghost No Takedown guide. Having returned to Detroit, where we confronted Seraph to learn that the Illuminati is behind everything that we are currently involved in, we start this video in front of the convention center in order to learn the whereabouts of Dr. Sandoval from his friend Bill Taggart. There is a stealthy way to get the necessary information, but in order to sneak out of the building, it requires either performing a takedown or using the stealth augmentation. So instead we will be sweet talking Taggart into giving us the info so we don't have to worry about anything at all. I was really disappointed that there's no way to sneak out of the building without a crutch, but at least we were provided a non-violent method. So if anyone does know a way to sneak out of the computer room without takedowns or augs, I would love to hear it. Anyway, enough talk, let's do this.
Where's your sidekick, Taggart? 6 months ago, Seraph Industries was attacked by mercenaries whose objective was to cripple our research. But I've learned the attack was just a smokescreen. Megan Reed's team was kidnapped, and Isaiah Sandoval, your personal aide, was involved.
That is ridiculous. Ladies and gentlemen, I apologize for Mr. Jensen's intrusion, and I assure you that these accusations are without basis.
Are they?
This is Sandoval. Why are you calling me here?
There's been a change of plans. Seraph's team must not make it to the hearing.
But that's too soon. If you want me to remove the GPLs, I'll need a full operating suite. Does the facility have one?
That's your man, Taggart. Talking about removing implanted GPL devices so that the people who took Seraph scientists could cover it up.
I see what's going on here. Seraph Industries has received 2 black eyes in the last few days. The first, due to the shocking news coming out of Montreal that biotech companies are secretly participating in unethical super soldier experiments. And the second, as a result of their violent escalation of today's peaceful protest. David Seraph and his corporate bedfellows are desperate and in imminent danger of losing the regulation vote, so this man has been sent here to attack my reputation.
I'm right here, Taggart. Look at me. I admit, I wouldn't feel bad if your reputation was damaged in front of the press, since you've been doing the same to my colleagues for years. But that's not why I'm here. Seraph scientists are alive, and it's time for the truth to come out.
The truth, Mr. Jensen, is that this recording of yours proves nothing. It could have been made by anyone in the world with a grudge against Humanity Front, and you are our prime suspect.
You're right, it's not enough to get a conviction. But it's enough for a search warrant. That's all I want, Taggart. Why are you standing in the way?
I'm not. I'm trying to protect... Look, Mr. Jensen. If you play that recording for the police, at best, they'll dismiss it. At worst, they'll tell you to seek counseling. So, why are you really here? We all know you suffered a terrible tragedy in the attack on Seraph Industries. Why can't you put it behind you?
I can worry about myself later. What's really important now is the 5 innocent people whose lives were stolen from them during that attack. Sandoval knows where they are. Now where is he?
I want to help you, but I do have to draw a line. As you know, I was a practicing psychologist before I devoted my life to ending the threat of augmentation. And I've seen this kind of behavior before. You're confused. You consider me your enemy, and you think the only way you can regain control is to defeat me in some way. You're wrong, I'm afraid.
Of course I want control. Every time I touch something, I wonder, just for a second, every time, if what I'm feeling is real. It's a bit like being in charge of an organization, I bet. Do you always know what the people at Humanity Front, your people, are doing?
In my organization? Well, most of the time, I suppose. When I founded Humanity Front, I dedicated the organization to the memory of my wife, Marjorie, who died trying to help a man addicted to augmentation surgery come to terms with his illness. Marjorie refused to resort to violence. So why would any member of this group do otherwise? We are simply not those kind of people. I wish I could make you see that, but I fear you are unable to comprehend nonviolent solutions.
I know about your wife's murder, Mr. Taggart, and how it led you to start Humanity Front. I've lost someone close to me too, but I have a chance to get her back. If Sandoval is involved in Megan's abduction in any way, he dishonored your wife's memory. For her sake, and for the sake of my people, I need to know where he is.
All right, Mr. Jensen. You're right. For Marjorie's sake, I can't risk tainting the integrity of what I built in her name. I'll help you find Isaiah, and I pray that you are wrong about him. Ladies and gentlemen, I apologize, but I'm going to have to beg your indulgence for a few moments more. If you will all please remain patient, I will return as soon as I can. Thank you. Mr. Jensen, I'll see you backstage.
Appears to show scientists performing crude, torture-like experiments on teams of augmented...
Mr. Jensen, I appreciate you allowing me to deal with this in a more discreet manner.
Save it, Taggart. You've wasted enough of my time as it is. Now where's Sandoval?
He has an apartment he uses when in this city, on Grand River Road. He mentioned he was feeling very run down, so I can only assume he went there.
I see.
He's not an evil man, Mr. Jensen. If he's done what you say, it's only because of his brother, Ezekiel. A man you might know better as Zeke Sanders.
Sanders? The man who attacked Sarah's manufacturing plant?
I knew nothing about it until after it was over, and then I tried. I tried to convince Isaiah not to follow in his footsteps.
Good job.
Mr. Jensen, please. Isaiah has done so much for so many needy people, people suffering from implant rejection. Promise me you will deal with him fairly.
That all depends on Isaiah.
I understand, but please try.
Outside the doors of such well-known biotechnology firms as Kusanagi, Isolay, and Seraph Industries. The footage sparking a riot.
And we're going to go ahead and skip this coming up conversation because we can't do the mission that's offered without performing a takedown, so there's no point.
This is important. Jensen? I almost didn't recognize you. Jesus.
discharge.
Why you gotta be so straight? You sure you closed the door?
Yeah. Of course I did. What do you think I am? An idiot?
You're not gonna make me answer that, are you?
So in this room there are a couple of things to consider. First, you need to be careful about the trap in the center of the room. Taking the Praxis kit without removing the mines will result in bad things happening, first of all. Second, Zeke is in the adjoining room, and opening the door will alert him, so we need to have him open the door instead, which we will accomplish by making a diversion. And last, Zeke will become suspicious if he walks into the room and sees the Praxis kit missing. But for some reason he doesn't care that the body's been moved and the mines have been removed. So, yeah, that doesn't make any sense. But anyway, I also want to say that it's a good thing that Zeke's missing an eye, because I don't know how he doesn't manage to see you as you're sneaking into the next room. He's also possibly deaf, as you'll soon see as well.
This.
Pritchard, looks like Sandoval's got a secret bunker. I'm gonna flush him out.
Let's hope he's still there.
Why do we always get assigned to the shittiest spots?
In this area I did have a few problems. Without the ability to fall silently, which I don't have, it can be a little hard to find the exact narrow window of time where you are able to fall without alerting them to your presence. It took me several tries to get this down.
If Sandoval doesn't come out of there in a few minutes, I'm going.
This part takes a little bit of finesse. First, you need to use the patrol to let you through the lasers, and then you also need to avoid his line of sight as he turns around, and you have a very small window of time to do this. And you need to do all of this quickly enough that you aren't seen, but not so quickly that you detonate the proximity mines on the other side.
And this is why I urge every member of my staff, every man and woman dedicated to the true mission of the Humanity Front, to do the same. Isaias, if you're watching this, I beg you, do not allow misplaced anger to destroy everything we have struggled to achieve.
It's over. He knows I can't come back from that.
Everybody knows, Sandoval. You can't hide from what you've done.
What I've done, Mr. Jensen. I spent years patching people back together from augmentation botch jobs and systemic organ rejection brought on by implants. And now, because of Bill's betrayal, I'll never practice medicine again.
You really want to help someone? Tell me where Seraph's scientists are.
I wish I could, Mr. Jensen. But my involvement ended right after I failed to remove their GPLs.
You failed?
Turns out, my surgical skills weren't good enough to bypass David Seraph's insurance policy. So for all I know, those little implants are broadcasting right now, on a frequency so low your network specialist wouldn't think to look for it.
You changed the frequencies.
You have your answers, Mr. Jensen. And I've lost all of mine. The courts may think I have much to atone for, but my court will be a higher one.
How about I take that gun with me when I go?
You got everything you came for. Please, just leave.
Believe it or not, I'd rather you didn't kill yourself.
That's because you have no idea what tortures I've endured. The guilt, the shame. I was told the scientists would be used to find a peaceful solution to the augmentation crisis. Instead, I was involved in kidnapping and murder. My life ended that night. It's time for me to go.
Think about it. Are you really in such a hurry to face that higher court of yours?
At least there are no lies before God. Did you see that abominable press conference? William Taggart all but accused me of terrorism. He claimed that all the violence committed in the name of our cause was the result of my influence.
So stay alive long enough to tell him your side of the story.
He already knows it isn't true. I trusted that man. For years I gave him loyal service, and he betrayed me. He sacrificed my freedom and good name to save the reputation of his organization. It's no use fighting him. He'll just spin it again. At least if I die, he'll never be able to use me again.
Look, I understand your situation better than you think. I quit the force because I couldn't stand what the people in charge were doing to it. But they went to the press and told them I'd been the problem the whole time. Power always sacrifices its subordinates to save itself. But you have my word. You can get through this.
I appreciate your faith in me, Mr. Jensen. And remembering that others have gone through similar events can be helpful. But is it enough? Early on, I decided my life's purpose was to help people. But I failed as a doctor. Because by the time I see augmentation patients, it's too late. So I went to Humanity Front. And that wasn't improving anyone either. I was an idiot to think this would turn out differently from everything else I've tried.
So you've had a couple of setbacks. Your reputation is shot and you're going to jail. Fine. Killing yourself is not the way to find redemption. At least behind bars, you still have a chance to help people. You're smart, healthy, and educated. You know that.
Perhaps. But prison also has a way of destroying people. Ever since the kidnapping, I've been haunted, knowing I'm partly responsible for innocent people losing their lives. The shame I feel, the guilt. I'm a mass murderer. I can't even look my wife in the eyes knowing that. I have destroyed everything.
You keep throwing out excuses for why killing yourself is the right thing to do, but the truth is you're lazy and scared and you want the easy way out. At least be honest with yourself. All the reasons you've given so far are nothing but bullshit. You and I both know suicide is a coward's act.
Yes, you smug bastard. I admit it. I'm a coward. I want an end to the torments I've been living with these last few months. And if you think you could do any better, think again. Here, take the gun. I may still be a coward tomorrow, but I'll be damned if I'm going to prove it in front of you today.
Pritchard, get this. The GPLs are still transmitting. Sandoval switched them to a lower frequency.
But they could be broadcasting anywhere in the world. I don't have the type of equipment we'll need to find them.
It's our only lead, Pritchard. You have to do something.
I know. Listen, the riot's still blocking the street entrance. Head back to your apartment and Malik will fly you over. Maybe by the time you get here, I'll have figured out something.
Right up here is a really cool Easter egg that I actually just now discovered while editing together this video. If you listen really closely, you can catch a snippet of the UNATCO headquarters music from the original Deus Ex playing on one of the radios as I'm running by. I'm sure this isn't a new discovery, but it is for me, and I thought it was cool enough to mention. I actually played Human Revolution before the original, so I wouldn't have noticed anyway on my first couple of playthroughs. This is actually my first playthrough of Human Revolution since playing Deus Ex. So here it is, right about here. Love that music. So just for shits and giggles, I'm going to put in that track for the rest of this video since we're essentially done at this stage. I'll see you in Hengsha.